Though the store was supposed to be open, the 58-year-old proprietor was nowhere to be found.
I lived across the street from the hardware store where Bernice Warden ran her business. I believe it was in the afternoon. People were starting to wonder why the store was locked. And where was Bernice Warden?
So her son came back from deer hunting himself and found that the place was a mess. There was blood all over the floor. And they started to investigate what might have possibly happened to her.
Interviewed by police, Bernice Warden's son mentioned a frequent customer who'd been in just the day before to check on the price of antifreeze. Ed Gein, a 51-year-old bachelor who lived in an isolated farmhouse outside of town.
Everybody had a role to play in this town. And I think Ed Gein was recognized probably not as the village idiot, but as a village oddball, I would say.
Oh, really?
That evening, about 2 hours after Bernice Warden was reported missing, Sheriff Arch Sly headed out with another deputy to Ed Gein's farm.
If you ever wanted to have a Halloween party, that would be a great place for it. It was a spooky house out on the edge of town, and it was dark, and there wasn't a sign of life there.
The doors of the house were locked, so the officers decided to take a look inside the woodshed.
They went in investigating with flashlights. It was pitch black because there was no electricity and no lights. And one of the lawmen felt something bump against his shoulder. He turned, shined his flashlight on it, and indeed, there was Bernice Warden, hanging from the rafters, upside down with her head off and gutted like a deer.
Ed Gein was taken into custody that night. As he sat quietly in his cell at the Washara County Jail, police continued to search his woodshed. And then cautiously ventured into his home. Inside, they would discover a horrific scene. Bernice Warden's gutted carcass, it turned out, was only Ed Gein's latest grim creation. On November 16, 1957, the quiet farming town of Plainfield, Wisconsin was abuzz with rumors about the murder of one of his residents. Bernice Warden's mutilated and decapitated corpse had been found that night in the woodshed of 51-year-old Ed Gein. With Gein now in custody, police prepared to enter his house for the first time. It was a cold, dark night, and the place had no electricity. The officers had only lanterns and flashlights to illuminate the scene.
Well, Gein's entire house was in a state of really unimaginable squalor. It was so completely overwhelmed with the trash of a decade.
It was chaos. In terms of housekeeping, well, you don't keep house. The kitchen was a jumble. Everything, there was dirty things here, and newspapers laid up here, and junk all over the place.
But the officers discovered much more than mere filth. In plain sight, scattered throughout the house, was a ghastly array of human remains.
Investigators were completely stunned and appalled to discover this incredible collection of human body objects. And among the things they found were bowls that had been made from the tops of human skulls.
And then they found what looked like trinkets, but it was like a string of nipples from breasts, all on a string.
They found a shade pole that was made from a set of women's lips.
And they found other body parts there. Then you'd go out into what would be like a living room, and they found furniture, a lampshade that was made out of human skin. chairs that were upholstered in human skin.
They found face masks deemed to apparently flayed the skin from the heads of the victims and preserved them.
This gruesome spectacle sat in his jail cell, refusing to speak to investigators. Finally, they confronted him with Bernice Warden's corpse. And with that, Eddie began to come clean.
He was perfectly happy to cooperate with the police. You know, all he asked for was a slice of apple pie with some cheddar cheese on top of it.
And according to the investigator, Ed ate the thing, and after that he told them anything they wanted to know.
They said, well, what's all these body parts in here, Ed? You know, how many people did he kill? All the dead stuff in his house. They just assumed that it was a murder victim.
All told, he would confess to only 2 killings. Bernice Warden and Mary Hogan. The rest of his grisly artifacts, he said, were crafted from corpses he had stolen from local cemeteries.
Plainfield woke up that Sunday morning to find out what had been living in their community for all these years, and that was Ed Gein.
So then he didn't tell us what had happened. He just said, I want you to come in and watch the news tonight with me. And the news came up on the television. He was the person. I was sitting in my bed. Oh my gosh, that's Ed.
We were all upset. We were all devastated. We were horrified about what had happened. It was a terrible, horrible thing.
It was just such a complete shock. I guess it was something a little bit difficult to talk about.
It wasn't just the murder of his work that was so disturbing. It was so many terrible things that he did that was upsetting so many people.
I mean, this is the guy who had been living in their community almost all his life, and been a babysitter for their children, and then eating at their table. Look what he did, and how he did it, couldn't believe it.